Hey guys, and welcome to my channel. If you're coming back to see me, appreciate that you coming back to see me. If you're the first time watching my video, welcome. This is Escape Art by Scott, and that's me. And this is a very easy way in how to paint in acrylic. And my way might not be your way, but it works for me. So let's get right into it. The plan is for today to paint a winter scene. It's mighty hot out nowadays, especially down here in the southeast of Georgia where I live at. And I thought I'd just cool things off and paint a nice winter scene. This will be my first winter scene that I'm painting. Hope you enjoy it. And I like to dedicate this particular painting to a good buddy of mine. I understand he watches my videos. Trenton, this video is for you, you big dummy. All right, here we go. I've already got some paint on the canvas, as you already can tell. Very top there, I got some Prussian blue, some phthalo blue, and some white. And let's see here. I'm going to get my little bottle here. I'm going to wet this down a little with some water. With acrylic, you got to do that because if it's wet, it flows better on the canvas. You can really blend it pretty good. Let's come right up here and let's start at the very bottom this time, and let's work our way up. And as you can tell, the very top of the painting gets darker than the bottom, and that's what you want in your skies, because you want your bottom part of your sky to be lighter than your top. That gives it that illusion of distance in your sky. So that's how it's done. And just rub it right on in there. And when you're doing your skies, it's best to step back and take a look, see if you need to add some more paint, and that's what I'm going to do. So I'll be right back. All right, I went ahead and finished the sky up here, and I just put in a little bit more of the phthalo blue and some white, and I just went ahead and finished it up. Now I'm about to go ahead and do a few clouds. Now, again, this is a winter scene, and like I stated before many times, is that this is a very quick way in how to paint. I don't try to make things a little difficult. This is, to me, this ain't brain surgery here where, we're painting, so I don't really get too technical in the way how I paint. And for instance, this is a winter scene. I use 3 colors, white, blue, and black. And that's the only colors I use in a winter scene. And I see other paintings where, you got sunsets in winter scenes and yellows and greens. I just can't see that in a winter scene. To me, a winter scene is supposed to be cold. And that's how I paint my winter scenes. Is I leave them very cold. And there's no doubt about it that it's cold when I'm painting. So that's the way I do it. And this still is a little too wet here. I like to have this dry because once I put on the white, if I put it on now, some of that blue will come off on my brush, and I have to forever cleaning the brush. That's another a good thing about acrylics. When don't take them too long to dry, and you can come right over with your next layer of paint. And you don't have to dirty your brush up. Whatever paint you have on your brush, it stays true to its color. It doesn't really mix in with your color that you have on here. And that's one of the good things about acrylics. So, and I'll be right back. All right, it's good enough right now, I believe. And so we're going to continue on, and let's make some big clouds, snow clouds. And you can just come up here, grab a brush, whatever brush you want to use, and you can come up here. I think I'm going to come up from here and just make circular motions. Keep that brush moving. And just make some cloud shapes, and you'll be all right. And if you can see here, see, I let that paint dry so that the white paint basically stays white. And you can go right back in to your paint and come right back up here. Let's come straight down wherever. Clouds are some of the freest things in nature, in my opinion. So they can grow however they want. Let's stop right there. Let's get a clean brush and go right here at the very bottom. And let's kind of blend these out a little bit. This white paint's already drying. Let's wet that down just a little bit. Yeah. What I did, I put a little blue right here at the bottom of these clouds. I wanted some blue in my clouds, just like that. That's it. That's more like it. See, I'm still getting used to these acrylic paint myself. But normally I paint in oil. And we all know the oil, is going to last a whole lot longer drying time than acrylic. Acrylic dries real quick. And so that's basically how you paint clouds. I want to continue on with some more clouds, and I'll be right back. Alright, done with my clouds. I just want to show you how you do some very nice clouds very quickly. And I like to point out a few things when you're doing your clouds is that at the very top of your clouds, leave them alone. Blend the base of the cloud out. And if you have to, of course, add a little blue there and just, blend them out. And make sure you do a cloud first. Let me see here. Like I did these up here first. Then I came back and I blended the very bottom of the cloud. Then how you layer clouds. Do your clouds first, blend the bottom of them, then come back with another cloud and put it right in the blue, that light blue area. Put that right, because you have a white, you got light blue, and you got some more white. It's contrast, dark against light, light against dark. That's what that word means, contrast. It sounds important or big time, but that's what it means. Light against dark, dark against light. And that's the way how you do some clouds. Very technical, ain't it? Like I told you, if you want to learn, the hard way and scientific about painting and all, don't watch this video. And I appreciate it if you do anyway. And like my videos if you would, and subscribe to them. Okay, that helps me out. Somehow I still don't get how that's important to YouTube folks, but if you would subscribe to my channel. All right, here we go. Next step, I thought I was going to put in some mountains here, and what I did was I mixed some blue and some black, and I want to get some of my palette knife and get a little roll. There you can see it right there, a little roll of paint right on the edge of that knife, and pick somewhere. I think I'll come right up in here. something like this right here and just drop it a mountain. However you want to know the shape of the mountain. Now that depends on you, okay? It really does depend on you. And there's some do's and don'ts about painting mountains, and I'll get into that. Make sure that when you're doing your mountains, the tops of them don't look the same all the way across. Make some a little bigger, make some a little shorter, like here. I'm just scraping off the excess. I think I'm gonna come right up here, make this a little bit bigger. Yeah. See how I just made that one real big? That's what you do. And you just keep on going. And my point of this is I want a range of mountains going at a diagonal. So bigger, and it gets smaller and smaller. Right there. Come up just a little bit bigger right here. Hardly anything now. I mean, it don't look much, but from here to here, I don't know what, 5 miles? Really. And another one right there. Now, let's bring this mountain . Let's say bring that peak down to there. Looks like I'm gonna need some more paint. And I'm gonna continue on with this, and I'll have it all finished, but I'll explain later. But I just wanted to point that out. When you're doing your mountains, make sure your mountain tops are not the same all the way across, the same height. Don't make them look the same, where they have a bunch of peaks. You don't want to have a bunch of upside down ice cream cones on you. Okay, just make them different. And I'll be right back. Alright, I'm done, and I just want to point out a few things here. I brought this mountain all the way down here. As I was going to my right, I did not go as far as down as I did this one, and gradually I kept going up and up and up. And that gives it an illusion that's going back into your painting. And that's how you do that. Well, if you want to have a mountain range like this, just don't have them, the very bottom of the mountain, have it different. Have one side longer or coming down, however you want to say it. And this over here is shorter. So I think hopefully I got that point. I'm not using the correct words on that. I'm not much of a speaker, as you can tell. I don't have much of a voice at all, and I'd rather do it than talk about it. But I just wanted to explain that. Also, while this is drying, I point out that what the blending with acrylic. When I first put my clouds in, my sky, I wet it down so it can blend, and that's what you wanted to do, to blend. Now, when I put my clouds in, I didn't want it to blend in with the sky. Alright, so I let that dry, then I came back with the clouds. So in these mountains, I want them to dry also, because when I put my snow on, I don't want to pick up none of this dark color. So that's the range with acrylics. You can wait for it to dry if you need to, or you can wet it down a little bit if you need it to blend something. So that's the advantage that you have a little bit over oil. Alright, that's pretty much dry now. So let's come back and let's put some snow in. Here we go. I guess we'll start off with this little peak way back here. All you do is just touch it. Okay, just touch it with your palette knife, whatever you're using. And keep in mind that these mountain ranges are way back. They're several miles back for this one, so not too much detail. Not much detail at all. As you're working forward to the left, then yes, you can put in some detail. Here, basically, I'm letting the paint come off on its own, really. I'm not really fighting with this at all. And like I said, not too much philosophical about painting. You know, there's a lot of terms and wordage and out there when you're painting. I don't normally use all that. That's obvious. And so I hope I'm coming across to you in a good way that you can understand what I'm trying to say. All right. Now we're getting a little bit over where you can start putting in some more snow, but a little brighter snow. And just let it fight, let it break off of that knife. That is the key in putting snow in. Just don't fight it really. Just let it come down. On its own. And there's so many artists out there now. I ain't cutting down what they do. They want to come back and this mountain right here might take me a few minutes to put it in. They'll take a few days to put theirs in, and they want to make a mark and lines in their painting, which is fine. That's how they paint. But I just can't do that. I want to get mine done. Now, will my paintings ever be in museums in London or in New York? Let me think about it. No, they will not be. I'll tell you that right now. And people that take 2 weeks to do a painting, maybe they might be able to find a museum in London or whatever, but not mine. But for around here, it's okay. And just want to keep going. And I want to keep working on this, and I'll be right back. Alright guys, I'm back, and tell you what I did. I just finished up this old mountain range here, put in some more snow, and I'll put in some little light blue and white mix for the shadow color. And I just went on the opposite of that white and just put in some little shadow areas. And I came back with a brush, and I just tapped in some white for this mist. Like to have a little mist at the bottom of my mountain, and that's what I did. And I hold my brush up, vertical, and not horizontal, because it looks like there's a straight edge going across. But if you hold it vertical, up and down, then you get a better feel for it. It looks more natural instead of just a straight cross coming across. But mist, like clouds that float everywhere. Okay. All right. All right. Next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to put in a nice little row of trees right here. And keep in mind again that this is still far in the background, okay? So when you're doing your trees in the background, very little detail. And I mixed me up some black, white, and blue, and gave me this bluish, grayish color. And let's see here, and just come back in here and just tap. Just tap in some trees. And go down. Some come back up. And you might find that where your trees are separating a little bit, that's okay. That's no problem. Just, you know, you just need to add a few more trees. That's all. No reason to panic here. Again, you're not conducting kidney transplanting, okay? You're just painting. And that's all you do, grab your little fan brush and put in these distant trees, or whatever brush you want to use. And I want to keep going across here, and I'll be right back. Alright, came back, finished up my trees, came back with some more of that mist, tapping some of that mist. I just plain old white on the brush. And then I took a fan brush, and I came just like this here, and I just popped in some white trees or whatever, frost on the trees, whatever you make it look a little more natural. Alright, now I want to come up to the probably the most hardest part of this painting. This is where I really need you guys to be paying attention here. You know, each painting, I believe there's a more difficult thing to do in each painting, and this right here coming up is probably the most difficult thing to do. And I'll be right back on that. Hold up. Alright, I'm back, guys, and I just put a little blue in here just because I want some shadowy areas in my next step, which is the most difficult part of this painting. Now just all pay attention. Trent, I know you're watching, you big dummy, you're watching? Alright. Here it goes. Most difficult part. Woo! Woo! I mean, was that ever hard? All I'm doing, guys, is just putting in some snow. And this is how you put in the snow. One of the most easiest paintings to do, in my opinion, are winter scenes. Because anybody can do this. Even that big dummy I'm talking about. Alright. And wherever you want your little hills to be, you just drop in a hill wherever you want it to go. Cover the entire bottom of the canvas with this snow. Very easy. And there it is. Go all the way up to those trees. Need to come up some more right up in here. Something like that. Come all the way up here. There it is. The most difficult part of the canvas of this painting. Alright, I'll be right back. Alright guys, now I want to start making some more of these trees that's more or less in the foreground. And I mixed me up some black and some blue with no white, because these are trees that's going to be a little closer, okay? So you want to have that a little more detail. And that's a pretty good drive. Like that. Just making yourself a little mark. And put in your little limbs. And I want to come down here. I want to make some bigger ones so you can see what I'm doing. Right now, I don't think you can see anything except the back of my head. And ain't nobody want to look at that. And I want to keep going with this, and I'll be right back, okay? Okay, I'm about on the part where I want to do a nice big tree for you, so you know, let's see here. How about here? You make a line and come straight down. You can just drag it if you want. Get yourself a good load of paint, and then come on each side of this tree and just go down and let the brush work, guys. This brush will do all the work for you if you allow it to. Now, what am I doing? I mean, are you looking at this? Are you seeing this okay? Because it's I'm hardly doing anything here, and really the brush is doing it. And then you come back and fill in whatever you want, and that's a pretty doggone looking good tree here. I'll do another one for you, a little smaller one right about here. Load that brush back up, either side, back and forth. You can skip a spot. Maybe the tree limbs has broken off or something. And that's how you do, what do you call them, evergreens. And that's how you do evergreens. Alright guys, I'm going to call this one finished. And I just added some more trees here. I showed you how to do it. Now you know how to do it. You know how to paint it my way. There's other ways to do it, of course. And under each set of trees, I put just a little mixture of some blue and black, just to you know, little shadowy areas up under the trees. And you know, that could, you know, adds a little interest to your painting, especially if you have one of those craft shows, arts and craft shows like the one I'm going to next weekend. You know, this painting might be someone, another booth next to me might be selling some paintings or something, and they won't have this. Someone comes by and see these shadowy areas under the trees, they might buy mine instead of theirs, right? So these little details, you know, they will pay you dividends at the end of your painting. So, you know, of course, I might come back and touch it up. You know, I might add a rock or two or whatever. But I basically wanted to show you how I do a winter scene. 3 colors, folks: white, blue, and black. Do you see any yellow here? No. Green? No. You don't see any of those colors except blue, black, and white. And that's all I paint in my winter scenes. And there's no doubt about it that, you this scene is cold. Now, of course, I'm looking at this painting, and of course, I need to come back and add some snow to these trees, and that's what I'm going to do. But okay, I'll do that, and I'll be right back. Okay, I just want to show you. All right, guys, just put in some snow in my trees. Same way you put in your leaves, of course, and just come back with some white. Main thing is, guys, is don't cover up all your dark color with the white, because you just kill everything. Then your trees will look flat. This way, if you leave them some dark areas, it gives us a distance, a depth into your tree. Okay, so that's the main thing on the trees. Don't cover up all the dark. Again, very quick way on how to do a winter scene my way. It works for me. I think it looks okay. Again, will it ever be in a museum in London? No, it will not be. Around here it's okay. And so on that point, I'll leave until next time. You guys take care of yourselves, and I'll back. It's been a while since I did a painting for YouTube. Hopefully I can get back into it. And I would like another shout out for those 10. I have 10 subscribers, and I appreciate you guys. And keep subscribing. And I will see you guys next time. Take care. Bye.